David, with this defensive slide, in your mind, how much is the breakdown? Is it effort? Is it personnel? Is it scheme? Is it the guys that are out? Just in your mind, what's going on here?
I guess you could say all that stuff, but I don't think it was effort as much tonight. I thought, we got up and down with them. We were scoring at a rapid rate. I thought our defense in the first quarter was really good. The activity, to start the second, though, we're not physical enough right now. And I think the stat that'll reach, kind of stands out to me is only 11 personal fouls. That says you're not putting your hands on people and they're running free. And they did. And Nemhard had a career night. He's a young guy. A flag got going. And I thought it was the 2-point shots that killed us early and the 3-point shots later. And this team obviously has really struggled to shoot the ball this year, and they had a night where they make 16 threes. But you couple that with our inability to get into people and get into the ball. I felt like Nemhard just played in space for the 34 minutes he played. So, yeah, we have to shore that up. We have to be better. Anthony Davis does what Anthony Davis does. He's a great player. Clay's going to make shots, all those things. But you can't allow Nemhard and Flag just to move around the court and do what they want like we did. And that comes down to physicality.
Think back to training camp. You guys were talking a lot about how that was kind of going to be something that you would make a point to focus on defensively this season, even testing the refs to make certain calls. What do you feel like has been the disconnect with just sort of implementing the physicality that you guys have talked about?
Well, I think we're doing it, but only for short periods of time. And I don't know if that's an energy thing or not, but you have to find, if I have to play more people, I will. I stuck with that rotation when Jamal got hurt. It disallowed me to play another guy. I felt like we got too deep into the game. That it would have been really unfair to throw Jalen out there in the fourth quarter. So it was bad timing in that sense. But yeah, no, I think it's an energy thing. It's just something you have to commit to doing, throughout the game. And we're scoring the ball so easy. Sometimes you can fall into that. You're just getting up and down with the team, but that's not going to win you games consistently. We talked about that. And then what happens is we finally had a bad quarter offensively, and we had 17 points in the fourth quarter. That's part of the NBA. That stuff happens. That's why you have to be consistent with your defensive effort. And it was not in the second quarter. I thought the third quarter we actually really did compete, but at that point we had given them confidence. They'd seen the ball go in, and now your defense sometimes it's victimized because they've gotten into a rhythm, and they did.
What do you think it is about your team so far where a couple of these losses at home, you guys go up big early and then it kind of keeps petering back, and then you give the other team confidence and the guys kind of let off the gas? What do you see?
Yeah, I think that I see a team that sees the ball going a lot, and this is what we've been in the past. And you start to play a pickup game. If you play a pickup game with NBA teams, they can score. All these guys can score. That's why they're getting paid a lot of money to play the sport. So it's you look at our stats, and you have 37 assists. You think you're going to win that game at home. But we're not defending consistently enough. And I told them in the locker room, and I mean it, it's the NBA, and when teams feel like they're in the game, every team's a good team. You can blow teams out, but if they're in the game in the third quarter and they saw the ball go into my point, we tried to compete better defensively, but at that point it's too late. They found a rhythm and how they want to play. So just have to be more consistent with our effort. I'm not going to come in here any night and sit down and talk about guys that are out. We have enough here to be more consistent defensively.
On the threes, a lot of those sequences seem to be Cam and Tim, or Cam and Bruce will wind up both going to one side. There's miscommunication.
Yeah.
Is that stuff that's kind of to be expected with scheme changes? Why is that taking longer to kind of get into that?
No, I thought we were trying to keep Clay from coming to the ball, and so some of the guys that slipped out behind the actions that were for him were guys that honestly we wanted to shoot the ball, and tonight they made shots. Like if you look at them the last month, it's been tough for them to make shots. But tonight they had a night, and to my point earlier, it's people have nights when the team starts feeling good, and everybody's excited about what they're doing and what they're trying to accomplish that particular game. They forget about their record, they forget about what they've gone through, and they live in the moment. And you allow them to do that in the NBA. Guys have nights, and Nemhard, like I said, had a career night against us, and we did not do a good enough job against him.
The 5-minute drought there, you guys weren't getting a ton of looks at the rim. Were you happy with the jumpers that you were getting out of it and just felt like they weren't going in, or what did you see?
Yeah, we had 60 points in the paint, 53 attempts. So, we missed 23 shots in the paint tonight, so we were in the paint. Tim and Cam have been shooting the leather off the ball. They go 2 for 12, had great looks. Nikola Jokic is one of the leading three-point shooters in the NBA and had great looks. So, when you miss them, you can say that, but if I throw the ball into the post, the same thing's going to happen because they're going to double him, and so we're going to shoot a three-point shot. But a lot of our pain points I thought were off activity and running the floor. Spence was great tonight, finding easy baskets. Peyton got a few. So yeah, it's a catch-22. We only shot 37 threes. I thought the majority were really good looks from people that we pay to shoot three-point shots.
Spencer seems like he's gotten, sorry.
You're good, go ahead.
Spencer feels like he's kind of like turned a corner in terms of shooting without, overthinking, or just how have you kind of seen him navigate that process?
Yeah, I think it's just experience on the floor. It's minutes. I brought this up a lot about him. He shot the ball so well last year in the G League, and I know some things don't translate if you play less minutes because it's a lot different to not play 30-plus minutes. You find your rhythm through multiple shots, but now he's playing minutes, and he's finding a rhythm to something he's already been doing really well, just not here and not with us. So yeah, I think it's just the experience of playing. I loved his energy tonight. He's one of the few guys I would say really competed defensively on the ball, got into people physically, and that's what we need more of from the other guys. So Spence had a career night. Unfortunately, it was a night that we just didn't do enough on the defensive end, so we can enjoy it for him.
What's the latest on Jamal, and how did you feel his absence like in the game?
Yeah, I mean it's a huge absence, obviously offensively. I don't know how he's doing. I know he tried because that's Jamal, and Jamal's tough. So if he sits himself because of the pain, it's probably it hurts. So I'm hoping it just was something that happened tonight, and he can get treatment the next 2 days. We can see him come back. It was a shame. He had 9 assists. It was one of those games I thought he was going to have 15 assists, 20 points, and obviously what we do at the end of the game has a lot to do with him and Nikola playing the two-man game. That really spreads the floor for us. But that's the NBA, and he got hurt, and there's no excuses for us. We were in the game. We had a chance. It was 112, and they just kind of blew us out at the end. So we got to be better at home. We know that. I guess the only positive about tonight is we're going back on the road. So we go play 3 on the road. It seems like we play well in other people's gyms. We got to figure out what we're doing here because we have not played well in Denver.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Spencer and Nikola.